Hello everyone. Welcome to the Let's Get Ready for Registration for Summer 2026 webinar by KP International team. Before we begin the webinar, I would like to acknowledge that we at Colin Polytechnic University respectfully acknowledge that we live, work, and study in a region that overlaps with the unceded traditional and ancestral First Nations territories of the Musqueam, Kadzi, Semiahmoo, Tsawwassen, Kakite, and Coquitlam, and with the lands of the Kwantlen First Nation, which give its name to this university. We are thankful to them for having cared for the lands and waters since time immemorial, and we honor their graciousness to the students who seek knowledge here. Before we welcome our presenter, I would like to quickly go over a few housekeeping items. I'm sure everyone is very excited to start your first semester at KPU, and today you must have a lot of questions, whether they are related to registration or about life in Canada as an international student. The webinar today will cover lots of information regarding those aspects, so please pay close attention to the presentation, as many of your questions will be answered by our presenter. At the end of our session, we will open the Q&A platform, and you can leave your questions there. And a number of staff from KPU International Advising Team will try to answer as many questions as we could. And if we see that there are any reoccurring questions or they have great information that we think like everyone should know, we will publish the questions and the answers for everyone to see. So before posting your questions in the Q&A box, please make sure to review the questions that already answered and share publicly. And please remember, make sure to review the questions. Please remember that your questions may already be answered by the presenter. So it is important that you pay close attention to the presentation first. Moreover, if you are a newly admitted student for summer 2026, you should already receive the course recommendation email with the handouts from KPU International Advising Team. So please take a look at the handouts, and we hope you have an idea of which courses you should take for your first semester. The second thing I want to say is that we will be recording today's session and sharing the video with all of you. So please keep an eye on your KPU email account, and we will be sending you an email with a link to the video later this week. So now I will leave the stage to our presenter, Vicky. So Vicky is one of our international students advisor at KPU, and she has extensive experience working with international students. So Vicky, please feel free to start your presentation whenever you're ready. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I hope you all doing well and excited about starting your journey at KPU. My name is Vicky, and I'm one of the international student advisor. We will be covering a ton of information today, but these are all essential information to be aware as a new international student. And I'd encourage you to take notes as we go along and jot down any question you may have, which you can ask at the end of the webinar. Some of the key topics that I will cover in this webinar are the roles of the International Advising Unit, the process of course registration, the types of course offer at KPU, and the importance of maintained full-time status for the post-graduation work permit program. I will also briefly go over my KPU.ca and some of academic and non-academic support services available to you as a KPU student. So why we're here? So what's the role of the International Advising Team? We are here to support international students in all academic and non-academic matters. Our goal is to create a welcoming and inclusive environment where you may ask questions, seek guidance, and hopefully thrive at both in your academic and personal journey in KPU. So next, I will introduce the people who make up the International Advising Team. They are the people that you will see all the time when you do consultation and appointments as you go through your academic journey at KPU. So we have a total of 9 advisors at KPU. 5 of them are based on Surrey campus, and they're Leah, Manpreet, Sanam, Sarah, and Oksana. You will also notice that list the second language that each of our advisors can speak in addition to English. In Richmond campus, there are 4 advisors, Hillary, Drury, Sandro, and myself. In addition to our international student advisors, we have international advising manager Kevin, advising coordinator Andrew, advising assistant James, and student assistant Mia. As you may have noticed, our team can have advisor who can speak and offer consultation in a variety of different language. They include Malay, Filipino, Hindi, Punjabi, Farsi, Mandarin, Korean, Vietnamese, and Russian. So what we do, you may be wondering what are the exact support service we offer. The International Student Advisor offer both academic and non-academic support. In terms of the academic support, we can help in exploring different programs, planning courses for the term, guiding students in their progression and graduation check, answering questions about academic standing, GPA, and course prerequisite. Overall, we help you understand KPU policies and procedures. As for the non-academic support, our advisors are trained to assist students with regards to immigration-related concerns related to study permit, working eligibility, as well as post-graduation work permit. We also issue letters as needed by students for their immigration applications. If you have a question related to something not listed here, you are also welcome to ask us. So when to see an international student advisor? For any immigration-related question, regardless of your program and how many credits you have completed, you should always meet with us. If you in any ELST, ENGQ upgrading or TREAS program, you should see an international student advisor for all your academic and non-academic inquiries. And the same apply to students in a certificate, diploma, or associate degree program, and those in their first and or second year of a bachelor program. If you fit into any of these categories, you should see an international advisor for all your questions. Apart from international student advisors, KPU also have degree advisors. If you are enrolled in a bachelor program and have completed more than 55 credits, or if you are in a post-bac or graduate diploma program, you should see a degree advisor for any course planning or program progression related questions. KPU has the degree advisors for the Faculty of Business, Arts, Science, Health, and Design. So how to meet international student advisor appointments? This is the first methods. So there are basically 2 ways. One by appointments, and the next slides I will talk about drop-in session. So first, you can book a 30-minute appointment. A 30-minute appointment is recommended in case where you need to discuss something in detail, or may have several questions. For instance, for course planning, program exploration, GPA calculation, and graduation check, you are encouraged to book a 30-minute appointment. Second way to connect with us is through a drop-in session. For drop-ins, you do not need to make a booking for a time slot. Instead, you should sign up 15 minutes before the drop-in start time, either in person or online, and wait in the line for your name to be called. During the drop-in sessions, as we may have several students waiting in the queue, the advisor may only be able to spend 10 to 15 minutes with you. So please be mindful of that. This is useful if you have immediate concern or for very quick question. You can find the schedule of drop-in sessions and how to join the session, as well as the steps of book a 30-minute appointment at kpu.ca/international/advising. So let's move to registration period. KPU has 3 academic terms per calendar year. The terms are referred to as fall, spring, and summer. The fall term is from September to December. Spring term began from January to April, and the summer term is from May to August. As you can see here, course registration begins about 1.5 months before the new semester starts. This means registration for the summer 2026 term will begin like around the mid of March. So prior to the scheduling of registration and assignment of time tickets, students will be classified into one of the group based on credits earned. The registration schedule will be ordered by group. Within group 3 to 7, students will be ordered by institutional GPA. The order of the registration consider only completed courses with grades. For example, for new students in all academic level admitted prior to the assignments of the time tickets, their order is the second, which means you will get an earlier registration date and time. So in the future, you may find even you have some friends or classmates, like you're in the same program, but you may get a different registration dates and time, and you may wonder why my registration time is like later than my friends or my classmates. This is the reason. This is the reason because it's again we group students and we sign tickets to different group of students with a different registration date and time. And so here are some important reminders of if you're currently awaiting a decision on your study permit, would we advise to still go ahead and register for your classes, but it's important to keep in mind about the dates and deadline. If your study permit application is approved, you must submit the proof of approval, the study permit approval, before April the 15th, 2026. If your study permit application is still pending, you will have until the last day to drop deadline with no financial penalty, which is on May the 10th, 2026, to drop your registered courses and apply for a deferral by contacting the admission team at international@kpu.ca. If your study permit is denied, you must also drop all your classes before the last day to drop deadline so that there's no financial penalty. In this scenario, follow the international refund guide regarding the refund of your confirmation deposit. The steps for requesting a refund can be found in the link provided here. Before exploring the course registration, we need to briefly go over MyKPU.ca. MyKPU.ca is a platform that allows students to access several apps through a single sign-in account. We encourage you to sign in your MyKPU.ca account, and then you can make some cards as your favorite. So you can access the registration, like you can find them easily. And from here, you can find the registration system by click the register for class card, for example. Okay, I was talking about the dates and deadline. So you will be able to find the information in this, if you just simply Google KPU dates and deadline, it will give you a page full of different dates. So you can find, for example, KPU holiday closure, the first day of classes, the last day to drop the class with a 100% refund, and the last day to withdraw the courses and so forth. So we encourage you to review this date and deadline page for each semester and mark them on your calendar. Okay, let's move to the pre-registration steps. Now we will go over some pre-registration steps before moving to the course registration demo. First, know your KPU login information. Without your login information, you cannot access the registration portal. Your user ID will be your KPU student email, and your default password will be your date and birth entered in the format shown here. If you're unsure of your password, you may go to self-service password management page and follow the step there to reset your password. Okay, know your registration date and time. You are able to start registering for your classes after the given time tickets that issued to you. To find the registration date and time, search for register for class. The card on the MyKPU.ca and then click on prepare for registration. If you go to the KPU if you go to the kpu.ca/SES website, you will find a step-by-step video on how and where to find your registration time tickets. As a new student, again, you got one of the earliest registration dates. As popular courses tend to get filled up very quickly, please take advantage of your early registration date and time and enroll in classes as early as possible. Okay, about clear action item. When you try to register for your classes, you will receive a pop-up notification informing you that an action item is pending. You must clear this action in order to continue with the registration process. Again, there's a step-by-step video for this on the kpu.ca/SES website. You may want to check it out before you go ahead with your registration. Okay, the next is review the course recommendation handout in advance. All new students, all of you, are emailed a list of recommended courses to take in your first semester. So check your KPU email. You should have received the email already. The course recommendations are based on your faculty and intended major. Excuse me. The courses are based on your recommendation only. You may take the courses outside these options, but you are encouraged to consult the university calendar when you're doing so, or you may come to us to have a course planning session. You may find some of the courses listed in your course recommendation handout are not specifically mentioned in the university calendar. This may be because many of the programs have room for elective courses. So if your students who have several transferred courses to KPU, then the course recommendation may differ for you, in which case you should come and meet with an international advisor before course registration starts. Okay, consult the university calendar. The university calendar provides the program information, including program intake type, declaration requirements, and curricular requirements for each program, and serve as official guide to KPU academic program. So you need to refer to the university calendar when planning your course. You cannot just say, "Oh, I'm interested in this course. I want to just take it because I'm interested," and it's not working like that. Again, go to the university calendar, find your program. Under your program, there's a curricular requirements. Most of the time, you can find a list of courses that require specifically for your program, and you need to pick and choose from that list instead of just kind of pick any course randomly. Because if that happens, the course you pick may not use towards your graduation. Okay, lastly, international tuition deposit. This will only apply from the second semester. So now you don't need to worry about it, but you need to remember for the next semester, fall 2026, you need to prepare this earlier. So after the first semester, you must make sure you have a minimum balance of 2,200 as the international tuition deposit in your KPU account before registering for courses for the upcoming semester. For your case, as a new student, it's a fall 2026. So students who do not have that amount will have a hold placed in their account and will not be able to register for the courses. Just to clarify, this is not additional fee, but this will apply towards the balance in your account when you pay your tuition and other fees in the future. Okay, the registration demo. So unfortunately, we cannot get the access to the test account in time for this webinar, so we are unable to conduct a live demonstration of the registration procedure. But we have included a relevant screenshot to discuss the key registration steps. So once you open the registration for class card from mykpu.ca, click register for class option and select summer 2026 term in the drop-down menu and click continue. This will direct you to a page where you can search for the courses available for a given semester. There's an option to use advanced search feature if you wish to find classes on a specific campus, a specific time, or taught by a specific instructor. So you can use advanced search to fill in the field and do a more customized search. So when searching for any courses in a subject field, it's important to enter the course name and not the program name. So for example, if your program name is Business Management Diploma, do not search for Business Management in the subject field. Instead, you must search for the specific courses that are part of the program. As I just mentioned, you can find the course list from the university calendar. After you find your program, there's a page where you can find the course list. So, okay, so let's try Criminology 1100 or CRIM 1100. So you put CRIM or Criminology in the subject area. And then in the course number field, enter 1100 and click search. The search will lead you to a list of sections for Criminology, so Criminology 1100 that will be offered in summer 2026. You will find the class schedule information in the meeting time column. If you click on the course title in the title column, you should be able to see more details regarding the course, such as the instructor, course registrations, instructional methods, and the status of seats information here. Adding a course. Once you have chosen the section, then you can add the course. This will put the course, the classes you chose into the summary panel at the bottom right corner and the class schedule window at the bottom left. So remember, the adding course does not mean that you are already registered in the class. You have to make sure the register option is selected in the action drop-down menu in the summary panel and then click submit at the bottom. You will know that you are successfully placed into the class when you see the registration status has been changed to registered. So whenever adding a specific class to your schedule, make sure that you do not have any time conflict with another class that has already been added to your schedule. This including make sure that your final exam for classes does not fall on the same day and time. And if you have classes on different campuses on the same day, please make sure you have enough time to commute between campuses. Okay, dropping and waitlist. So if you want to drop any course, simply select drop from the drop-down menu and then click submit. If the session is full, you will see another option called waitlisted in the drop-down menu. If you want to put yourself onto the waitlist, then select it and submit. You will see your status change to waitlisted. To see your waitlisted position, select the schedule detail in the class schedule window, then click the arrow to the left of the course title. Linked course. Okay, now let's add another class. This time, let's try to add a class that has a lab component, which is biology or BIOL 1160. Okay, please note that many of the science courses, such as chemistry, biology, they have lecture and a lab component. Lab and class. So the lab component will show 0 credits, which the lecture components will show 4 credits. Let's add both lecture and lab. Again, make sure register is selected and click submit. Or you can simply click the view linked, the big arrow pointed. The system will show you the available combination, and you can click Add All button. Then both lecture and lab will be added to the summary panel. Note that if you attempt registration in only one of these sections, either just one class or one lab, you will receive an error message asking to register for both. Again, you must make sure that you register in both the lecture or the call classes in the registration system and the lab component at the same time. This is particularly relevant to any students in the science faculty. Yeah, this is the same thing. Just remember to select register in the drop-down menu, and you need to submit. And you know you're good once you see the registration status has been updated to registered. All right, so let's talk about some common registration errors. So now we have covered registering process, and then along the way you may see some errors the system give you, and I want you guys to understand what that means. So first is closed waitlist. This means that the section you are trying to enroll in is full, but you have the option to waitlisting for the course. Once on the waitlist, it's important to check your KPU email regularly every day to see if you have received the waitlist notification email. If you receive the email for a seat offer, you have to register for the course within 24 hours. If you fail to register or to take the seat like you are offered through the notification email within 24 hours, the seat will be given to the students next on the list. And you will, basically you will lose the chance, and you will probably not have the chance to get the seats again. So check your email every day because you only have a 24 hours window to take the seat. Another error that you may encounter is prerequisite, co-requisite, and MET. What does it mean by prerequisite? Prerequisite course is a course that you must have completed with a minimum C grade or unless otherwise stated before registering for a given course. Usually for higher level courses, you a lot of times you will see prerequisite. They require some lower level courses to be done again with a minimum C. Sometimes students come to us and say, hey, how I have finished this lower level courses, how come I cannot to register for the higher level courses? Maybe because you the student get a C minus or D. So again, the minimum requirements for the prerequisite to lower level courses is a C. And the co-requisite is a course that must be taken at the same time or prior to another course. If you take the co-requisite courses previously, again, a minimum final grade of C is required to fulfill a co-requisite. So if you don't meet those requirements, you will receive the prerequisite or co-requisite error, the notification from the registration system. Okay, time conflict error is received when you attempt to register in a section that either has a class time or exam time overlapping with another class that you have already registered for. Lastly, linked course required error. Again, as I just mentioned, for some science subject, they have both class and a lab component. So you need to register both sessions. So if you attempt to register in only one of them, you will receive this error message from the system. Okay, at the very top, there's a QR code that you may scan to review a full list of possible registration errors that you can receive. These four are most popular ones. Okay, reserve and restrictions. You may also receive reserve and restriction error when attempting register for some courses. This is because some sections for a particular courses are reserved for a specific group of students. For example, There may be a business course with 7 sessions open, but out of those 7 sessions, 3 may be reserved for students who are doing Bachelor in Business Administration and Accounting, for example, or all the sessions maybe have 10 seats designated as specifically for students in a particular program. If a session has seats reserved, this will be displayed in the column reserved seats. You will be able to see from the registration system. But don't worry, but most of the reserved seats are removed about 3 weeks after the start of the registration, and those seats may become available for all students eligible to register in the courses. Restrictions. On the other hand, the restrictions are permanent. They will not be removed. Restrictions are placed on certain courses that are meant for students in a specific program. For example, info courses are restricted to those students who are in IT Bachelor or Computer Information System Diploma program. You can find a list of all the classes sections that are coded as reserved or restricted on the kpu.ca/registration website. Okay, now let's talk about the KPU grade 12 math requirements. At KPU, as well as across many other Canadian institutions, all the science programs have university level math, physics, chemistry, and biology courses that students must take in order to graduate. With the exception of biology, grade 12 math with a minimum grade of C is a prerequisite for all university level science courses. What does it mean? It means that if you do not complete grade 12 math with a minimum C grade and you attempt to register for any undergraduate chemistry, physics, or mathematics courses, and you will see a prerequisite, co-requisite, and MET arrow. In addition to science program, diploma in business administration and associate arts degree in economics also have one or more courses that have grade 12 math as a prerequisite requirements. If your students who is in any of these programs and do not have grade 12 math, then you are advised to take courses that don't have grade 12 math as the prerequisite in your first semester. In order to fulfill these prerequisite requirements, you may need to take either math qualifying courses. I will talk about what is qualifying courses in the next slide, or take math placement test. So you may visit the link at the bottom to learn more about what we call MPT, math placement test. And you are encouraged to see an advisor to fully understand how you may upgrade your math to meet the grade 12 math prerequisite requirement. Okay, type of courses. There are 3 main types of courses offered at KPU. Full-term courses run for the entire duration of the semester. That is, for summer term, full-term classes will start in the beginning of May and end in August. Intersession courses are not very common if they are offered, except to have more classes, expect to have more classes per week compared to full-term courses, because the material that is taught in 4 months is condensed in a 1.5 months period. There are usually 2 sessions offered in a semester when we talk about intersession courses. They are called session 1 and session 2. It's important to note that the deadline to add and drop classes without penalty for intersession courses is different from full-time courses, which you can check on dates and deadline page. Qualifying courses, you can consider them as a high school level courses. They are meant to upgrade your knowledge and proficiency in a subject area so that you may proceed to an undergraduate level course study. Qualifying courses usually end with a Q. So for example, ENGQ, MATQ, BIOQ, except for EIST courses. So except the ENGQ and EIST courses, qualifying courses tuition are the same as the undergraduate courses, and they do not count towards your undergraduate credits, meaning that you cannot use them to fulfill any undergraduate program graduation requirements. Okay, course delivery methods. So when you are registering for your classes, you may see that some classes are offered in person while other classes are offered as blended or online. So in-person classes. Most of classes offer in person. Students must physically present in class, all lecture, exam, quizzes, and deliver in person. Blended asynchronous classes are a combination of both in-person and online, where the online component of the courses is not delivered at any specific time, so you can view the content online at your own time. Blended synchronous classes are a combination of both in-person and online classes where the online portion of classes is scheduled at a specific time, which means you must be online at the time specified in your schedule. Online asynchronous classes have no scheduled meeting time. The instructor will upload materials and pre-recorded lecture online. You may review and replay lectures to clarify concepts. You will be expected to complete the coursework on your own schedule, but within the deadline set by the instructor. This type of courses require a lot of self-discipline. Online synchronous classes are where the instructor and the student are both online at the same time. The instructor may give a live lecture at a specific time, so you must be logged in your Moodle at a scheduled time. So exams may be either conducted online or in person. As an international student, you are recommended to take only in-person or blended course. Particularly in your first semester. Taking online courses may impact the length of your future post-graduation work permit. So if you must register for online courses, please come to consult with the advisor first. Okay, we have gone through a lot of information, but you may want to pay extra attention to this slide. So if you plan to apply for a PGWP, the post-graduation work permit in the future after your graduation, and it's important to take note that one of the criteria to apply for PGWP is that you must maintain full-time student status throughout your study. So full-time means enroll in at least 9 credits per semester at KPU. If you're enrolled in 9 credits and end up withdrawing from one course, you will be considered a part-time student for that semester. But there are a couple of exceptions for this rule. If, for example, you can take a schedule break. This means you can take one term off or be a part-time student in one semester per calendar year, provided that you maintain full-time status before and after the break. But for the new student, for the very first semester, you must have at least 9 credits, at least 3 courses usually registered. Okay, you cannot be a part-time. Otherwise, you have to explain yourself why you were a part-time student in your first semester to the RCC officer in the future when you apply for the PGWP. And you will leave that in their hand to decide whether they will approve your PGWP or they will deny it. So be careful. Every time you want to take a break or be a part-time student, my advice would be just come to see an advisor to make sure you're doing everything according to the university policy. So you won't have any trouble in the future for your PGWP application. So another exception is on authorized leave. Authorized leave can be provided if you need to take a term off that cannot qualify as a schedule break and is required to be approved. Okay, so in case of applying for authorized leave, usually, for example, a health condition, emergency health condition, you can come to us. And we need to talk and you need to provide some proof, and we have a procedure to go through. Just pay attention, the authorized leave is only approved for the current or upcoming term. So if you come to us and say, oh, 2 semesters ago, I was have some health issue, I want to apply for the authorized leave, it cannot be approved because it's already passed, it's already happened. So if something happened, just make sure you come to meet with the advisor immediately. Okay, let's move to academic support resources. So now we will briefly touch on some support resources that you can access free of charge throughout your time at KPU. So preparing for the classroom. To help our students preparing for the classroom, we have academic integrity tutorial and the KPU 100 courses. Both are highly recommended for you to complete before starting your first semester of KPU. The reason we advise to complete the academic integrity tutorial is because there are cases in each semester that students who are charged with academic integrity violation, as they fail to see their reference properly, or they didn't fully understand what classifies as plagiarism, or they're using now the AI technology. We have very specific, the university have very specific requirements on that. So as a student, it is your responsibility to understand what constitute academic integrity violation and do everything to avoid it. So if you're charged with a violation, you can receive a 0 on your assignment or an F grade in your course, or even suspended from KPU based on how serious this is. So therefore, the course is really important as it provides students the meaning of academic integrity as defined by KPU. And common examples of academic misconduct and its consequences, and the strategy to uphold academic integrity. About the KPU 100, it's a non-credit 1-week program with no fee for all the KPU students. Some of the things that will be covered in the course are how to manage your time efficiently, strategies for reading texts, taking notes, and memorizing, how to commute efficiently online, how to work in online group or teams, how to improve your test taking skills, and how to use KPU technology such as Moodle. So again, you can use a QR code on the page to enroll in both courses. You highly recommend that you enroll in both, and that will give you a head start on your academic journey at KPU. Okay, the Learning Center. The Learning Center is another really important academic support resources at KPU. They provide a range of skills and strategies that encourage learning excellency and promote holistic development. So you have the option to book a tutor, book an appointment with a learning strategist, attending one of their workshops, or get help with your writing assignments. All Learning Center services are free of charge, so use them. We highly encourage you to spend some time navigating the Learning Center's webpage and access their resources during your time at KPU. Okay, our international advising team also have a lot of resources to support our international students. You may access the resources by visiting the International Student Advising homepage. It covers academic and non-academic topics, immigration information, like advising videos on popular topics, graduation checklist, how to apply for a post-graduation work permit, and more immigration resources. The idea that we put a lot of information online is to support our international students from entering KPU as a freshman to the end of the study as a graduate. Okay, let's quickly go over some academic support and resources. The first one is the peer mentorship program. So this program is specifically designed to support the first semester students. Every new student is connected with a peer mentor in their first semester. Peer mentors are current KPU students, and you can reach out to them throughout your first term. So they can assist you in navigating through some of the personal challenges you may face as a new student. They can help you with the familiarize with the campus, introduce you to other new students, and help you build connections by holding social events throughout the semester. So if you feel lonely, which is a very common emotion to experience in your first semester, reach out to your peer mentor, and they can help connect you with other students. Next is the Thales House support student app. If you're going through a difficult time in your life, perhaps you lost a family member, had a breakup with your partner, or you're experiencing a high level of anxiety or depression for whatever reason, download the Thales Health Students Support app. They provide very professional trained counselors with whom you can talk to over the phone or live chat 24/7. The conversation you have will be kept confidential, and the service is free of charge for all of our students. So KPU also have a counseling department that you can access if you are having concerns that impact your academic or sleeping or motivation, those issues. We also encourage you to download the KPU Safe app. Through this app, you are able to connect security and emergency services, find out what to do in the event of emergency, access first aid and counseling services, view interactive campus map, arrange for the security officer to escort you on the campus, even if you are leaving the campus very late. And there's a lot of more services. For download the app and take a look. There's QR code to access to each of the services. Okay, so we will quickly talk about the house insurance because a lot of the new students have many questions about this. So as a new student, you will be automatically enrolled in a GuardMe insurance program. This is a temporary insurance. As soon as you arrive in Canada, you must enroll in this BC Medical Service Plan we call MSP program. Anyone who plans to reside in Canada for longer than 6 months is required to enroll in this program. It's mandatory. So once you receive your BC MSP card, you can opt out from your GuardMe the program. So lastly, the KSA Extended Health and Dental Plan is also something that all students are automatically enrolled in. So it's also mandatory, meaning that you cannot opt out from this plan unless you have similar benefits through an employer or somewhere else, which many students don't. So if you have any questions regarding the insurance, please contact the International Student Life team for suitable support. The email contact is on the screen here. You may also visit kpu.ca/international/insurance for a more comprehensive overview of each of these health insurance plans. Okay, lastly, just to review, just a few quick reminder as you prepare to come to Canada. Remember to carry the following documents before you're boarding your flight. Your flight tickets, your passport, port of entry letter, visa, or ETA. It depends on where you come from. So, and your letter of acceptance. You can find a QR code to our CC pre-departure guide here. It's highly recommend that you check it out as it has really good tips and information for students embarking on Canada as international students. So you have any question related to your travel to Canada, we also have like team within KPU International to support you, and they could be reached out to by email. Let me see, it's international transitions@kpu.ca. It's down here. So you can reach out to them to ask some questions regarding your coming trip. Okay, so before we end this presentation, let me summarize the different ways that you can contact with our international advising team. Two of these were mentioned before: booking an appointment through Advisor Connect. There's a system that you can book the appointments with advisor or join a drop-in session. Other ways to connect are through phones or emails at internationalstudents@kpu.ca. So feel free to reach out to the international advising team during your time at KPU. On behalf of the team, we wish you all the best of luck for your first semester at KPU, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vicky, for such a great presentation. It was a pleasure to have you with us, and I hope everyone enjoy what Vicky has shared as much as I did. So before we continue, I would like to remind everyone that we'll be sharing a recording of this session later this week, so you can review the information prior to the start of registration period. Once again, if you have questions that were not answered today, please feel free to contact the KPU International office. As Vicky has kindly shared with us, you can call us or you can email us at internationalstudents@kpu.ca, or you can book an appointment to meet with one of our advisors through Advisor Connect at kpu.ca or join our weekly drop-in sessions. This concludes the webinar. We will now open the Q&A box on the right side of the screen. Please feel free to type in your question, and we'll try our best to answer as many questions as we could. However, please note that this Q&A section and this webinar is meant to support questions that are general only. If you have questions that are more specific or you require more personalized assistance, please meet with our advisor through an appointment or a drop-in session. Again, thank you all for attending today's webinar. We hope you have learned a lot and enjoyed this session. And we wish you all the best in your first semester at KBU in summer 2026. Our advising team is looking forward to seeing you here at KBU. Thank you very much, everyone.